Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This channel is for educational purposes. We check out great theories, concepts, and discoveries that you're probably unfamiliar with because they've been suppressed and are otherwise off the beaten path. Might be a little bit difficult on you in terms of the amount of digging you have to do, the amount of mental, uh, you know, performance, just the digging deep, and in some cases, the emotional impact can be difficult. This is a segment that we have that is called the Q-tip of the spear. I would also like to mention that, these things are very difficult, but they're worth it. They can completely change your life in terms of your quest for better spiritual, mental, and physical health. So the digging is difficult, but it is worth it. And yeah, this segment's called the Q-tip of the spear, where we look at the coverage of the cutting edge of the info war between the globalists and the worldwide patriots, a worldwide civil war, fifth generation war that's going on that you may not know anything about, but it's been going on for 10 years at the minimum. And it looks like the Patriots are going to win. In fact, I would say they already have won, and that the globalists are circling the drain. And it's just a matter of time before it's all over. But they've got to present the events to the public on the media in a digestible way, and that takes a little bit of choreography. All this stuff is InfoWar, and so you know you have no idea whether it's really happening or whether it's just hype or whether it's just drama or a soap opera or whatever it is. Um, Now, same thing with false flags and so on, and you never know whether these things are really happening or whether they're just staged events. But I'm sure that some of them really do happen and that some people are really injured and harmed by some of these events. I don't know which ones exactly, but I'm sure that, there are victims of this. So I'm not making light of that. And in that vein, uh, I will kind of change up the subject here a little bit today because normally I've been talking about, the fact that the Patriots have won. And so this is a time for the Patriots to really redeploy themselves and get themselves red pilled a little bit more because their agenda that they're about to implement is not seaworthy. It's not airtight. It's got a lot of flaws in it because they haven't scrutinized their own belief systems. They've been too busy scrutinizing everybody else's belief systems and digging into the false flags and the psyops and the rug pulls and the spectacles and the hoaxes. Um, what they need to do is recognize that their own belief systems are rife with hoaxes and false flags and psyops, and that they need to adjust them accordingly before they start implementing them on a on mass scale. Um, but for today, uh, I'm just seeing into the future, and I could be completely wrong, but I would recommend that you don't go anywhere in the vicinity of Washington, D.C. for July 4th. Um, Now, it looks like um, the 250th anniversary celebration is, um, took a hit today. A lot of the washed up musical acts, uh, they all in a domino effect, they all kind of like canceled. And, they kind of said, the tenor of it that I got, and I could be wrong, is that, we're not going to perform for Donald Trump's, just your typical TDS fueled outrage. And so these groups that were under pressure, it's not like all these people have TDS because they signed up for it in the first place, but then they just succumb to pressure from their peers or their agents and or whoever, their fan bases or whatever. And so they all kind of there was a cascade effect and they all kind of quit. And then Trump comes out and he uh, makes a post where he's says, "Oh well, who needs all these people? Who needs all these washed up musical acts? Um, I can just go out there and give a speech. I'm the star. I'm the goat. You know, I'm I can carry this whole thing. It's almost like you know, if nobody else can do it, I'll just do it all. I'll do the whole thing." And he probably pull it off, but I would submit that the other side, what's left of them, because it's mainly the lower level performers. All the mid-level performers, I think, are circling the drain. So it's really just the what you would call the useful idiots that are really kind of remaining on the left. And this is, keep in mind that this is the site of January 6th, and there's gonna be a riot. I mean, I can just see it, and there's gonna be, um, this is gonna be their swan song, maybe, because there might be a crackdown as well. Um, and I would be, I mean, maybe they'll pull it off with no violence, but I wouldn't go anywhere close to there because Washington D.C. is, one of these zones that doesn't have law, doesn't have the normal laws. And I think, the deep state laws are a little bit more um, uh, in play. Like whatever they want to go goes in DC. That they can't get away with these things in most states, but they can do it in DC. And I just wouldn't go there um, for this event. It's got all the earmarks of January 6th. Trump is trying to get everybody to come, and millions of people are probably gonna come. It's just that it's gonna be warm instead of cold, which is gonna mean that it's gonna even be worse because people are gonna be angry. It's the beginning of the long hot summer, and the protest movements have just started up again. The George Floyd anniversary just happened. They're just starting to ramp up this, and the outrage is going to increase, especially given that the the mid-level players are kind of out of the picture, and so or moving out of the picture, and so they're the ones who are kind of more subtle. These lower level players are a lot more crass and uh, transparent. And so uh, you know I would stay out of there. I would stay out of all of these events. I would get myself red pilled, get myself ready, you know, uh, scrutinize my own belief systems, um, and you know, take some psychedelics in a meditative environment, do a lot of meditation, do a lot of working out, do a lot of yoga for flexibility, or glorified stretching if that's what you prefer. Listen to uplifting music. Uh, read stuff from people who inspire you, especially people who dedicated their lives to whatever they're writing about, and just try to uplift yourself. This is a 5D consciousness thing. This is a golden age, and this is a age of Aquarius. But it's really, it's up to us as individuals to go through the gate. And if we're not ready, we're not going. If we don't have our belief systems, um, shipshape, then we lose, we fail, and it's back to 3D consciousness again. So, um, you know, uh, participating in a bunch of fake events is not going to do you any good. It might be emotionally satisfying, and if you have families, you might teach a lesson to the young ones or whatever, but not in DC and not on that day. I would not recommend that. Okay, like, share, subscribe, comment, contribute, and we'll see you tomorrow on another episode of the Q-Tip of the Spear. Thanks for tuning in today. Have a great day.